remembering the dead. In the northern hemisphere of the world, the leaves are falling. Here in England, we call this season autumn. The colours of the leaves descending to the ground, changing from their summer bright, lively greens to shades of autumnal gold, burgundy, dying shades of green. They descend onto the ground. There on the ground, people are trampling through them, and there's a crunch. These leaves are dead. It's not by chance that in this part of the world, many people are celebrating Halloween. Also, in other countries, there is a festival to the dead. This time of the year, the veil is thin. What do I mean by that? We live in the physical realm. This physical realm is, as it says, physical, breathing, living, drinking, laughter, waking up, and there's breath in us, living through the day with our families, at work, maybe on our own, but we are drawing in breath from the divine. Now, just imagine the other side, where one day we will all go to when we draw our last breath. Usually that world is highly separated from us living human beings and animals. Those of us who are more intuitive, more sensitive to the other world, can sense the passing of other people, can sense the world of the dead, and even animals are more aware. Sometimes someone passing in a family, the pet cat, pet dog, knows when the last breath is going to be drawn out, and can also sense spirits coming of family, friends who have passed on. And so do people with a psychic nature. Not everyone. Here, right now, because of this closure of summer and the expansion of nature now closing down in the sense of hibernation, like a bird of prey, or like the bear or the hedgehog going to sleep. Yes, summer is closing, and here is autumn, or they call it fall in the northern Americas. This closure draws the barrier closer to the physical realm. In the days gone by, in the past, when man worked closer to the land, this awareness was celebrated by a big bonfire. They'd call it burning the bones, not literally, but it was a unity between the other world and this world. Knowing summer has passed and here we are preparing for a greater death in nature, winter, which will come in the following season. Man and woman would sit around the bonfire and think of their loved ones, their friends who have passed on. In South America, which is much warmer than here in England, the UK, there are days where whole families and friends will go to the cemetery and have a feast, light a candle for their loved ones that have passed on. And it's the same, it's remembering loved ones. Often there would also be this dying of the embers. After a great big bonfire, the embers would be collected up. And usually the women would be the ones who, after the men dig a small hole, the women would be the one circling where the embers are. And a song or prayers would be said. Now this is a long time before Christianity came along, and even when Christianity did come along, especially in the urban communities, people would still do this. These customs. You have Guy Fawkes. Guy Fawkes itself is a tradition. Yes, they've got the story about how this man wanted to blow up Parliament. However, prior to that, there was, in some communities, part of saying goodbye to summer and celebrating and preparing for winter, there would be an effigy burnt on the bonfire. Nothing is lost by remembering those who have passed on. Here I end with a story. It's actually a description of a meditation that happened to someone who is very attuned to the other side, and how they came to her near to the time of remembrance. Remembrance Day. Here it is celebrated on the 11th of November at 11 o'clock. She sat cross-legged on the crowded carpet. As usual, she took in 3 long drawn inhalations, followed by 3 long outward exhalations, followed by simply breathing deeper than normal. No time can she put on the time they appeared. She opened her eyes, and there appeared in front of her 4 soldiers in a brown mustard uniform. All young men between age 17 and 21, no more than 24, she guessed. One of them began talking. I have a scar here where I took a blow from the chaparral, and he rolled up his sleeve, and there was a gash, a scar. Next to him, the blue-eyed, blonde youngster standing to her left. He said nothing. Another soldier standing next to him had no shirt on. Instead, he wore a vest-like garment with buttons under his brown trousers and over his chest. His dark brown hair was slicked back. His brown eyes joyous. They hit me in the chest. Quickly following him in his explanation of why he was not wearing a vest, his mate on the outer right with grey sandy hair quipped, "Me, it was in the stomach and the right hand." And then the second lad, the one who didn't speak at first, he was fair-haired blonde, shared that it was the fever that took me. These chaps brought with them details of the Great War. And they shared more of what happened in France, further into other countries as well. They spoke about their adventures, no bitterness, sad, they explain, for those that they left at home. They did realise it was part of their life's journey. At the end, her room was full of lightness. They quipped, "Thanks for remembering us and all the other soldiers in the Great War." The one who had his hair slicked back looked at her. "Thank you," without words. "Thank you for lighting this candle for us." Viewers, there is always a blessing in remembering loved ones, those who have passed on before us, those who have valiantly sacrificed their lives for their country. Bye for now.